All right, in this brief video, we're going to look at connecting to the web design server at Georgian College using the built-in FTP client available in Dreamweaver. So to get started, make sure you have at your fingertips the email that looks somewhat like this. And this will be a piece of email from a person called root at webdesign4.georgianc.on.ca. So just if you don't see that in front of you in your inbox, in your student email, maybe just do a quick search for the word root. You may have thrown it inadvertently in your trash because it may have not looked like an important piece of information, but you do need this. So this is generated using a script and that we have on the server when you first enroll in the course that you require the server. We generate this automatically for you based on the class roster. So in this here, this contains both your FTP, your file transfer protocol, and your MySQL, which is a database account. Both of these are running, these services are running on that server, but we want to, in particular, draw our attention to the FTP credentials. So look here, we have three pieces of information. One is the webdesign4.georgianc.on.ca. The second is the username, which will be your student number, and the last will be a password, which will be unique to you for your account. So with that information in hand, we can proceed then to open up Dreamweaver, and this will we will go ahead and configure the FTP settings in Dreamweaver. So I'm running Dreamweaver CS 5.5 in this instance. These procedures will work just as well for CS6 or Dreamweaver CC Creative Cloud. So we're looking at then what we do is we proceed up to the top here. It says Dreamweaver and the label is site, S-I-T-E. We're going to create a new site definition, and Dreamweaver allows you to create multiple site definitions so that you can manage multiple websites or applications on the same machine with the same install of Dreamweaver. There are four categories over here to the left: site, servers, version control, and advanced settings. We're going to start with the basic site settings here. Give your site a name. In this case, we will call it my website. Not very imaginative, I know, but this can be any kind of name you'd like, including spaces or capitals. It's just a label for you, which allows you to kind of give it a unique identifier. The next very important thing is to tell Dreamweaver where the site folders are, where the local files are for the website or web application you're working on. So click on the browse for folder button on the right of the local site folder, and then head over. In this case, I've got them for convenience just up on my desktop, and I have a folder called My Website. So we want to click on the folder, the project folder there, as the root folder. Notice that inside this folder I have a folder called public_HTML. I'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. So go ahead and click Choose, and you should see the path to the local site folder or project folder in this field here. So that's the first part. Next, we'll proceed over here to servers on the left. Click on that, and we'll have a panel here of that contains any and all external server resources that may be available to this particular website. We'll click the big plus button here to add a new server, and the FTP window will come up, or wizard or control panel. So we'll give this a name. We can just call this Web Design 4. It doesn't matter. This can be a name for you. That's something quite friendly. It may include spaces and or capital letters. Then we want to connect using FTP. It's a good idea to use secure FTP, which is SFTP, but we don't have a secure certificate installed on our sandbox server at the college, so FTP is fine, and so that should do just nicely. So leave that. That should default to FTP. The FTP address field should be webdesign4.georgianc.on.ca. Don't forget the C, right? Don't forget the .on and the .ca. So be very careful to type that exactly. Again, as you find this under the host label in that email. And if you want, you could copy that to your clipboard and paste it into that field. So make sure that reads exactly that. A lot of people get that, just inject a typo into there, and that could cause the whole thing to come crashing down. Port 21 is fine, leave that default. Over here is your username. Mine is alpha instead of my student number because I'm an instructor. And then, of course, type in your unique password. And that should be, you could copy that out of here if you wished and paste that over to Dreamweaver. Then, of course, you want to hit the test just to make sure that these, the FTP address, the host name, the username, and the password are indeed working properly. And you should get a successfully connected message. If you don't, review this text here. Make sure you've got the right password and there's no spaces before the username or afterwards or something like that. So anyway, once we're done, we can go ahead and click Save. And we'll then see that server definition appear in the servers list. So that should be good. We've told Dreamweaver basically, where is our stuff on our local machine, and where are we going to put it. So then we can hit Save. And as soon as we do that, we will notice that something called the Files panel comes up over here on the right. And the Files panel, it should say Local View here. So this shows you the local files on your machine. And you can see here that we have the site folder. We then also have a folder called public_HTML. So that's in all lowercase letters, no spaces. There's an underscore character. And we've included that folder in each and every project folder because that is the same as the server environment. So the server, when you connect to a point just above the public folder. You will already have created for you by the server administrator a folder called public, and then that is in there where you want to put all of your files. If you put something above this folder, it won't work. So we'll take a look in here, and at the top right here you can see there's a little button called Expand to show local and remote sites. So click on that, and this will fly out here, and you'll be able to then see on the right, this is the stuff on your machine here. And over on the left is what resides on the server. We can click on the Connect to Server button at the top here. We've already entered our username and password, so that should turn green, and then we should see over here remote server. So this slash here is the root folder. When you connect to a server with just your username and password, the server will direct you to a particular folder that is reserved for you, and that's is indicated by a slash on the server. So also notice that there will be another folder in that root called public_HTML, which you did not create. And that is the folder I'm emulating over on my side here. So if I crack that open, in this case there's nothing here. So I want to upload here all of my stuff, being my CSS, my images, and my index, my HTML page. So what I would do is then select any and all of these things, and I can do a number of things. I can drag them up to the public folder like so, and they will head up there. Or I could simply highlight the resource I want and click the Put button up here, and that will update over here on the server. So I can tuck this Files panel away over here if I wish, back to so I can always open that if I wish to see both, or I can toggle from the local to the remote server view quickly by using this widget here. That's great. So I can also, if you notice the Put button, the blue button that goes up, you can also, from the Files panel, you can click on the file and push that up to the server, and up we go. So let's make sure that this file, well, first of all, we'll open it up in Dreamweaver, we'll see what it looks like. So this index.html template is a simple piece of HTML. There's no tricks here. And so we have a title, a link to a piece of CSS, and an H1, a paragraph element with some bogus text, and an image that also references a PNG, so inside the images folder. So let's take a look at this. Let's see where this actually went on the web server so that the public can browse to it. So we'll open up a browser. And I'll hijack this Google page here, and we'll pull up, whoops. And we'll hijack this, it'll be web. design4.georgianc.on.ca / and then we have to use the little tilde character, and that's a little squiggly character, which means account when we're talking about an Apache server. And then we can dump in our student number here. In this case, it is S. McCrindle. Yours would be numeric, obviously. And then / and if I want the index page, I would simply type in index.html, which is in. So this page resides inside my public folder. So let's see what we get here. And there we go. There's my website. So so here we have. Notice I pointed to the index.html, and if I look at the files panel, that index page resides inside the public folder. So in order to, there's no way for the public to see anything that's above this folder. That's why it's called public. So in order to access this here, we have to type in webdesign4.georgianc.on.ca tilde student number, and that corresponds to this folder here. You never actually have to type public_HTML in the web address for the browser. But this part here in blue corresponds to the contents of that public folder. Anything beyond that here is what is inside the public folder. So in this case, if I wanted to see just the Earth image, which is inside the images folder, and it's called earth.png. If I wanted to pull this up in my browser here, then I would add /images, which is this folder, and then type the file name. So I will type up here /images/earth.png, and then I'll just get the picture. So just bear in mind that path and how that works with the public folder. So that's great. So once if you make any kind of changes to your work, I might want to say my great website. So I want to make a small change to that. I can then I can save that change, and if I wanted to upload that, I don't even have to go to the files panel over here. I can simply click on the site management button here and hit put, or I can use the hotkey Shift Command U or Shift Control U if you're on the Windows platform. So up that goes, and then I can go head off to the website, reload the page, and then I can see that change in the primary heading, the H1, has been made. So there you go. There is connecting to your website or your web account on web design for Georgian using the built-in FTP client in Dreamweaver. Thanks for watching.